Huge breaking news. This is late breaking news. This is an article from Bloomberg. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys could check it out. T-Mobile in talks to make big broadband bet with move into fiber. This is a big piece to the puzzle. I think this is the last piece to the puzzle. T-Mobile got the assets from Sprint. They got the tower sites. The last piece to the puzzle was always going to be owners' economics around fiber. That's the last piece to the puzzle. Mobile giant in discussion with Tillman Fiber Company for network would have T-Mobile enter growing market after 5G rollout. Very interesting. In the recent videos, as a matter of fact, as early as the most recent video that I released earlier, you guys have heard me say that T-Mobile is going to generate a ton of cash. T-Mobile keeps pointing that out at the earnings calls. They keep talking about it at these conferences. The massive free cash flow generation this business is going to produce is massive. And if you guys have heard me say that in previous videos, it will allow them to make moves like this to get into a big bet into fiber. Now, this article is behind a paywall, so I'll just read off the top that I can see. T-Mobile US in discussions with a unit of Tillman Global Holdings LLC to build out a fiber optic network, setting the stage for the number 2 U.S. wireless carrier to enter the landline broadband business. So this could be fiber to the home. I think that's very possible. And in the markets where they do become the ILEC, I'm almost certain that they're going to connect their sites up to its own fiber. You know, if they're going to bring the fiber into those markets to the house, right? If they're going to go big and they're going to make that bet, it just makes sense that they connect their cell sites up to their own fiber. Now, I do want to make this clear. You know, this is a disclaimer. This is going to cost money. This is not going to be cheap. You know, we're talking billions over a certain time frame added to the capex. So one thing I don't want to see, right? Just being realistic and honest, I don't want to see if they do get serious, if this gets announced, I don't want to see T-Mobile still maintaining that 9 to 10 billion capex. That capex is going to have to go up. You know, it's going to have to go up to the 13, 14, 15 billion dollar range, maybe even more, right? Because now you have to carve out a chunk for this deployment. Right? You got to think about that. When Verizon and AT&T present their capex, 17, 18, 19, 20 billion, whatever they guide, you always got to think, hey, they do carve out a good chunk of that for fiber deployments. Right now, before this goes into effect, if they do get serious, the 9 to 10 billion, T-Mobile is just deploying pure wireless. They're not deploying their own fiber. You know, you got to keep that in mind. So that's going mostly to the wireless network. And the fiber right now gets pushed off onto the OpEx because of the leasing, right? The owner economics makes sense, right? As everything gets more expensive, I'm sure if T-Mobile goes from 1 gig to 10 gig, that's just more expensive no matter how you look at it. I've been preaching that in several videos in the past, and T-Mobile knows it too, right? And if there's competition in the market space, right? If you're with a certain fiber provider and they're no longer giving you favorable rates, and now you go with someone else, that could turn into a nightmare too, because now you got to switch. They have to come out. They got a truck roll. It just takes time, right? In this case, you might as well just deploy your own fiber, because you're probably going to have to pay that new company that's going to give you a better rate. You probably have to pay them capex up front to deploy their fiber to your site and remove the other fiber provider, right? That's all stuff you have to take into consideration as you move forward in this business. And as inflationary pressures hit these businesses, they're going to push that off onto T-Mobile. And T-Mobile is going to look at the business case and going to say, well, if we keep moving fiber providers every few years that the leases run up and they want to raise pricing, we're just going to have to do our own thing, right? And that's what this is signaling. Now, again, it's not made very clear as to if this is going to be just strictly broadband to the home, or are they going to connect their cell sites up to this as well? My guess, and I'm very strong, I feel very strongly about that guess, this is also going to be fiber to the cell site, because why not? If you're already going to deploy your own fiber with this company, might as well hook it up to the cell site. Bring it to the neighborhoods nearby, close to the cell site, and then connect it up to the cell site, and then you're done, right? You don't have to deal with back and forth, finding favorable rates, moving from one provider to the next. You're finished with it. So we'll see what develops from this. We'll see how aggressive T-Mobile would get, right? Maybe they say they would have to present the plan. And for sure, if this becomes to fruition, if the Mint Mobile merger closes or acquisition, right, that's still pending, we're going to need an analyst day for sure. They're going to have to update us on everything, especially with this, right? Where do they think they can get to 20%? When do they think they can get to 50% covered with this fiber, right? All of that is going to play a huge role, in my opinion, as they move forward. So let me know what you think about that in the comment section down below. Look forward to reading your comments. Make sure you guys stay tuned for more. Like, share, subscribe. See y'all in the next one. Peace.